Do we ever wonder where we go after we die? Heaven? Hell? Is it our past actions that decide our fate, or something else entirely? A story from ancient times might just hold the answer, an answer that unlocks the secrets of karma and the journey of the heart. Imagine, long ago in a quaint village nestled in the heart of India, there was a young monk. He was known for his unwavering dedication, spending his days in quiet practice. Not far from his temple lived a woman, a prostitute, whose beauty was as renowned as the shame she carried. The villagers scorned her, their whispers following her like a shadow. Yet, beneath the layers of societal judgment, a tiny spark of faith in the Buddha's teachings flickered within her. It was a fragile light in a sea of darkness, but it was there. One sunny afternoon, she saw the monk. He was seated in deep meditation beneath the shade of a magnificent Bodhi tree. Drawn by an unseen force, she approached, stopping a short distance away. She didn't dare disturb him. She just stood there, watching. As she observed the serene stillness of the monk, a profound sense of peace washed over her, a feeling she had never experienced in her tumultuous life. Tears began to fall silently down her cheeks, not of sadness, but of a strange, quiet joy. It was as if, for the first time, she was witnessing a world beyond her own suffering, a world of purity and tranquility. But in a small village, secrets are hard to keep, and observations are quickly twisted into accusations. It wasn't long before the villagers started to talk. Their whispers grew louder, more venomous. "Have you seen them?" One would say to another, "That woman, ... she's always near the monk. What could she possibly want?" Another would add, their voice dripping with disdain, "She's trying to tempt him, of course. A woman like that can only bring corruption." The rumor mill churned, and soon the entire village was convinced that something improper was happening between the saintly monk and the fallen woman. The gossip spread like wildfire, scorching her reputation even further. Through all of this, the young monk remained an island of calm in a storm of judgment. He heard the whispers, he saw the pointing fingers, but he did not react. He offered no defense, no explanation. When villagers confronted him, he would simply offer a gentle, enigmatic smile and return to his meditation under the Bodhi tree. His silence was maddening to them, but for him, it was a shield, protecting his inner peace from the chaos of the outside world. He knew the truth, and that was all that mattered. For the woman, however, the condemnation was a heavy blow. The villagers, who had always kept their distance, now actively shunned her. Doors would close as she walked by. Children would be pulled away from her path. She was more isolated than ever. A ghost in her own village, the weight of her past sins and the present scorn became almost unbearable. One moonless night, driven by a desperation she couldn't explain, she found herself back at the Bodhi tree. The monk wasn't there, but the sacred space still held the echo of his peaceful presence. She fell to her knees on the cool earth, the same spot where she had seen him meditate. The fragile dam holding back her furrow finally broke. Tears streamed down her face as she clasped her hands together, her voice a barely audible whisper to the silent night. "I know my life has been wrong," she confessed to the universe. "I know I have created so much bad karma, so much pain, but I want to change. I truly want to change." Her heart ached with a sincere desire for a different path. "Please," she begged, "show me the way. Show me the path of light." In that moment, her prayer was not for forgiveness from others, but for a chance to forgive herself, a chance to be reborn in spirit. Not long after that night of heartfelt repentance, a serious illness took hold of her. Her body, already weary from a life of hardship, quickly weakened. As news of her impending death spread, a grim satisfaction settled over the village. "It's her karma," they'd say with a self-righteous nod. "She's finally getting what she deserves." They saw her suffering as divine justice, a confirmation of their own piety. But while the village celebrated her demise, the young monk sat in his temple, silently chanting. He wasn't chanting for her punishment, but for the peaceful passage of her soul. He knew what the villagers did not, that the final moments of life are the most crucial. As the woman took her very last breath, her mind was not filled with fear or regret for her past. Instead, it was filled with the purity of her repentance under the Bodhi tree. It was filled with the peace she had felt watching the monk, a peace she now held within her own heart. In that final, critical moment, she let go of all earthly desires, all shame, all suffering. Her soul was light. A few days passed. The village had already forgotten the woman, moving on to the next piece of gossip. One of the monk's young disciples, still troubled by the events, approached him with a question. "Master," he asked, his voice filled with the certainty of youth, "that prostitute. She must have gone to hell, right? After the life she lived." The master monk, who had been observing a lotus flower in the temple pond, turned his gaze to the student. A gentle, knowing smile touched his lips. "No, my son," he said softly, "you are mistaken." He paused, letting his words sink in. When she died, her heart was not filled with sin. It was overflowing with sincere repentance and a pure goodness. In her final moment, she achieved what many practitioners strive for their entire lives. She let go of all attachment, all desire. The monk then looked deeply into his disciple's eyes. "But think of the villagers who judged her, who condemned her, who celebrated her suffering. At that very same moment, what were their hearts filled with? Anger, pride, self-righteousness." He leaned in slightly. "So tell me," he asked, his voice calm but powerful, "who do you think will reach hell first?" The disciple stood in stunned silence, the profound truth of the Master's words washing over him. The law of karma, he realized, is not a cosmic system of reward and punishment. It does not keep a tally of our good and bad deeds to be weighed on a scale after we die. No, it is far more simple and far more immediate. Karma is a mirror. It simply reflects the state of our own heart, our own mind, right here, right now. No one is ever truly condemned by their past. We are only condemned by our refusal to awaken in the present. The opportunity for change, for enlightenment, exists in every single moment. Heaven and hell are not distant destinations we travel to after death. They are states of mind we create with every thought, every feeling, every breath. Heaven is a heart filled with love, compassion, and peace. Hell is a heart consumed by anger, judgment, and pride. The choice always is ours. Heaven and hell begin right here within your own heart. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Remember to keep your heart pure and your mind aware, for every thought you have creates the world you will inhabit, now and forever. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that open the heart and mind.